Dear delegates, distinguished chair, ladies and gentlemen, members of staff and faculty, et surtout papa et maman, et Arnaud et Greg. Before commencing my speech, I would just like to take a serious note and mark my respects for our late student who was in our master's, Favor Odinioa. When my sister found out I was graduating and thus writing a speech, she insisted that I mention her in the speech. I'm not going to do this because I am petty and she's my older sister. Mais Mao, merci beaucoup de m'avoir aidé pendant cette année. Aussi, papa et maman, j'aimerais vous dire merci. Merci d'avoir été derrière moi. Merci de m'avoir poussé dans les moments de joie comme dans les moments de déprime. Merci de m'avoir élevé pour être la personne que je suis aujourd'hui. Et merci de m'avoir supporté spirituellement, surtout financièrement. I would also like to thank my friends, Sandro, Diego, Tracy, with whom we spent the year diligently working, illustriously drinking, and mostly together. I would also like to thank Philip Morris, Lord of Marlborough. Finally, I would like to thank the members of faculty who taught us throughout the year, particularly Oreste Fapiani, but he's not here, my capstone supervisor for his invaluable help throughout this process. Considering I'm graduating from a master's, what I'm going to say might be shocking, but I've learned some things throughout this academic year. Firstly, I learned that words can be confusing, and it's very important to listen closely. During our introduction class, I had initially thought that Dr. Rolf Traeger told us that we would enjoy macroeconomics. Looking back on it, I genuinely believe he meant to say we would endure macroeconomics. More seriously, however, I would like to speak about a lesson I've learned repeatedly throughout this year: perseverance. I used to erroneously define perseverance as being a capacity to soldier on and march forwards, an invisible force that must push us to strive for greatness. As the months went by, perseverance felt more like a chore than a quality. It was on a random night that my late friend Zach made me realize what perseverance really means. The largest part of perseverance is not being strong, being cold, or carrying constantly. The largest part of perseverance is being able to be kind to oneself. It is the ability to admit our mistakes and admit our shortcomings. Be able to push on despite them. Although we can seek to be the best version of ourselves, we will never be perfect. And we can never be irreproachable. Human perfection is not the lack of faults, but rather the realization that these faults exist, that they can be worked on. I know all of us this year have had some difficulties, some challenges, and some personal issues, but I'm proud of us that we all managed to persevere this year, despite the numerous challenges we've faced. The period we enter now is one that all new graduates fear. Some of us have already worked. Some of us have already lived full lives. Some of us, however, are newborns. We're beginning our careers. We're launching ourselves in a world of which we understand frighteningly little. In this regard, we all have faith. We all have faith that we will be able to begin our careers, that we will be able to become plenipotentiaries, that we will be able to work in governments, institutions, or companies, and that we will be able to anchor ourselves in a reality we can call our own. Our faith is a strong force, but only our knowledge will be able to guide it effectively. Although our degrees have given us swaths of theoretical knowledge in our respective fields, it's only through experience that we'll gain the knowledge necessary to become truly pragmatic. This experience will be littered with contrarieties and humbling in many ways. In short, it will be brutal. However, two-seated intellectuals will never go as far as a walking brute. In the face of this brutality, we can only be perseverant. Thank you very much.